This, my friends, is the MP-5. Some of you know about it, some of you don't know about it. By the end of this video, you're gonna know everything about this and what it's capable of. This is a bad little piece right here. The MP-5. This bad boy, I think, is literally pound for pound one of the best guns ever made. And for a submachine gun, I think it is the best. This thing was made almost over 60 years ago. If somebody were to come to me today and say, what would be the best transferable machine gun to buy? I would say the H&K MP-5. Little recoil, 9mm, a little bit cheaper than other stuff to shoot. They're durable, easy to get parts, easy to clean, break down. I mean, it's just badass. It's not heavy. Somebody could shoot it. You don't have to worry about a ton of recoil. So this is one of the most iconic and mostly widely used submachine guns in the world. H&K started it in 1964, a whole team of engineers. 1966, they were using it in the German police. And from there on, it just went to different militaries, police, all over the world. This thing is by far the most used submachine gun of all time. And it was made almost 60 years ago. I mean, do you understand that? They still make it today. It's not used as much as it was in, say, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but it is, I mean, it's out there. So there's many variants of the MP-5. I mean, all kind of different furniture, you know, different stocks, different hand grips, you know, different types with silencers and without silencers. So, you know, a pretty basic one is this right here. You got a basic stock, you got a fixed stock on it. You know, forward hand grip, don't have one, we got on that. But this one has a flashlight, so this would be a good one for law enforcement. So, you know, you're going into houses at night or, you know, through the woods or something, you have a flashlight, you can see what you're looking at. Very nice. I like this one a lot. But then you also have this, which was very popular, adjustable stock on it. So you got it real tight, almost like the MP-40 where you can fold it up. And then when you want to, you just pull it out and you're ready to go and you're shooting from the shoulder. Pretty nice, but I mean, you could get it into a tight little area. You could almost put this thing in a little suitcase or something if you need to. Here's one. This one has a rail on the bottom of it for a forward grip. If somebody likes that to shoot. So there's all different kinds of stuff. This right here is the MP-5 SD. We're going to go into that in a minute. This has an integrally suppressed silencer on it, and it is quiet. And we're going to show you this coming up. This was used by a lot of special forces, so they could get in, be quiet, do what they have to do. So the MP-5 shoots a 9mm round, just like the MP-40 did. 30-round magazines. You could also get a 50-round drum or a 100-round drum for it as well. You got about a 200-yard range, just like I said with the MP-40. And also it shoots about 800 rounds a minute. So it's faster than the MP-40. Not as fast as like the MP-7, which I'll show you in a new video coming up on that. But, I mean, it's a pretty controlled, just all-around good gun. For SWAT, for anybody. I mean, you could get on this thing and just rock it out. So, German submachine guns, obviously, I don't know if you've seen my MP-40 video, but you want to check it out. It's pretty good. Started with the MP-38 and then the MP-40. This also shot 9mm. Had a 32-round magazine. Pretty good weapon. I thought it was one of the best submachine guns you could have in World War II. Then they invented, a few years later, the MP-5, which we're talking about, which has a 30-round magazine, 9mm. Now the new thing they're using is the MP-7 here, which is now a little rifle round, but it's still a small caliber, and it's I mean, it's unreal. you know, weaponology made it the best machine gun ever built. Like they made it the top dog, you know what I mean? So very narrow. This thing's got some punch. Not as much knockdown power, but it'll go through body armor, it'll go through bulletproof glass, all kinds of stuff. So this is what you got here. You go from oldest to newest. And the reason why they developed something like this over the MP-5 is to get through body armor. So say they had to fight Russia or anybody like that, they would have body armor on. The MP-5 would be nearly useless against it, so they had to develop something that would penetrate that, or if any, even bad guys for law enforcement or anything like that. So 2, 3. One thing about German guns, especially the World War II ones and even these, they made them very easy to field strip and clean. So I'm going to show you how to break this thing apart and have to clean it or do anything. Very simple. So you have a push pin back here. First things first, actually. You're going to make sure your bolt is locked up. You know, so make sure everything's clear. You're going to take out your mag, make sure you're clear. Then you have a push pin back here. You're going to push that through, pull it out. That'll come out. Then you're going to pull out your bolt carrier group. Then here, push another pin, pull out the trigger group. And if you want to clean even more, you can pull this pin out as well. Pull out your handguard, and that thing's ready to be cleaned. Look how simple it is. So, trigger group 2, you could also very easily pull it out. Switching it all the way up, you can pull this out like this. Sometimes it's a little tough to get out, but pull that bad boy out. You can soak it, clean it, and clean everything out. Look how nice that is. I mean, that makes it very simple. The bolt here. It is a delayed roller bolt, which helps with recoil a lot. This is actually a very good design. In fact, I don't think they've really come up with a better design. This thing's pretty dirty from us shooting it. But, okay, ready? So these things are nice. This thing obviously needs to be cleaned a lot. So you're going to pull that off. You could soak that in your... Pull that out. There's a spring. Your firing pin. There's your bolt carrier group. So this thing, the bolt itself is a roller delayed blowback, which helps a ton with recoil too. I mean, it is an ingenious design. It really is. So the movies, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s, especially the 80s and 90s movies, these guns were in everything. Everything that was cool. Cliffhanger, Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, the movie SWAT, that was a good one. Check these out. Was also in the movie Predator. Carl Weathers, he had 2 of them, and he got his arm shot off, and the gun was still firing while his arm was shot off. That was a pretty cool. I always remember that from that. I was like, wow, that was crazy. But another feature about these is normally, like this one right here, it has safe, single fire, and then full auto. This one right here has safe, single fire, 3-round burst, which means every time you pull the trigger, 3 bullets will come out, and then full auto, where every time you pull the trigger, it'll just be full go. MP-5 SD. This thing is a special weapon in itself. I mean, it is quiet. You can literally shoot something. Somebody near the room almost couldn't hear it. It's literally like a BB gun going off. You know, Special Forces, Navy SEALs, in the movie Navy SEALs, they use these almost the whole time. I mean, you can literally get in, and you're not going to make a ton of ruckus. You know, quiet. Again, you don't have the range, you know, past a couple 100 yards, but for like close quarter combat and get in there quiet, this thing's quiet. And here we go. Watch this thing shooting, how quiet it is. Here we go. So one thing about the MP-5, why it lost a little bit of traction, is because of its penetrating power. Here's a bulletproof vest. This is a Class 3A. This will stop up to a .44 Magnum, where it should stop this 9mm. We're gonna give it a test. We're gonna try and shoot it right here. I did shoot this with a 50 cal already, and it went through both sides in my 50 cal video, but we're gonna shoot it with the MP-5 and see what it'll do. MP-5, 9mm, 115 grain bullet, bulletproof vest. Here we go. All right, so we hit it right in the middle here with an MP-5, 9mm round. Let's see if it went through it or not. Doesn't look like there's a hole. Nope, it definitely stopped it. That's from the 50 cal. There's no hole, so it definitely will stop a 9mm, and that's one of the reasons why they stopped using those, because it will stop it. The MP-7 replaced the MP-5 for the Navy SEALs, basically because they needed something that'll penetrate body armor. We're going to do that test now. So one other good thing about the MP-5, another good thing besides just the military and SWAT teams and things of that nature, it's a great home defense weapon. It really is. I mean, a 9mm round compared to like a high-powered rifle, you're not going to over-penetrate and shoot through your house into another house and all that stuff. This one's got a silencer. You have a 30-round magazine. That means if you get a home invasion, you get a burglar, anything like that. I mean, this is one of the best things you could have. You know, they might have a 10-round magazine. You've got 30. So another problem we have, and this is a real problem lately, have you ever heard of a well-fed peeping Tom? We got one that's been around our neighborhood lately. We've almost caught him. I think we're going to catch him today. But they are sick puppies, let me tell you, real sick up here. So I think he's outside right now, though. You freak! What are you doing here? What are you doing here, well-fed peeping Tom? I'm going to get you, boy! Don't let me catch you back here again, you well-fed pervert! So, looks like we took care of that guy, and I didn't even need to fire a shot. Power perceived is power achieved. One side of this thing, he was gone, and he won't be back. That well-fed peeping Tom is going to be bothering somebody else now. Hopefully they believe in the Second Amendment, or they're going to be getting bothered an awful lot. One thing about this well-fed pervert, he really upsets me. I mean, the guy, it's like he wants me to get him or something. You know, he sits outside and taunts me. Watch this. One thing I'm going to tell you, if you ever come across this freak, and he is a freak, he loves his ice cream, and he likes Twinkies too, so you could probably lure him in or trap him or something with him. I recommend to do that. But if he's hungry, I'd avoid him because he gets very aggressive when he's hungry. Very aggressive. Oh, here, come on. You do it.
We haven't eaten this.
Hey, have the thing in your hand. Have it in your hands, okay? All right, let's shut. Dude, he kind of looks like, oh my God. He looks like a well-fed Roy Orbison. Man, that's a nice gun. I can't wait to do a video on that. Back to this well-fed pervert. If you ever run into this guy and you're wondering, is it really him? He's got a marking on him that's very distinctive. Not many people have it. I'd say like pretty much no guys do. He's got a tramp stamp back here. Here, I'll show you right now. This is what it looks like. Dude, tough. One, two, three. Pretty messed up, isn't it? I'll tell you what, you could see him get this thing. I made a video on it. I mean, it's a good video. Check it out. I have the link in the description and in the comments. So it's called Loser This Game Gets a Tramp Stamp Tattoo. So don't want to miss that one. Oh yeah, and another thing. We do have a mugshot of this guy, so I'm going to show it to you right now. And again, if he's hungry, you got to be cautious because he's going to be very hangry and aggressive. Here's his mugshot. 1, 2, 3. This thing's pretty cool. You know, I got something else that's pretty cool. Have you guys ever seen a Viking shoot a machine gun? After watching something like that, I guess anything's possible. Next thing I know, we're going to see elephants flying. So another good thing about the MP-5 is very little recoil. I mean, you could shoot this thing, stay on your target at a decent distance. I mean, compared to like an AR or anything like that, way little recoil. I'm going to show you. We got a white plastic gate right there. I'm going to try to keep a nice tight group on full auto, just dumping the mag. So the group wasn't as tight as I'd hoped, but you still, I mean, I was like, 20 yards away, and it's still like a nice controlled tight group here. It's not all over the place. A couple of stragglers there, but pretty nice, like a hand-sized group where you're going to be inside of a body if you needed to, so very little recoil. One good thing about the MP-5 is you could basically shoot it like a handgun with one hand. Very little recoil. I'm going to show you. That was pretty cool, but what's cooler than one? How about two MP5s with tracers? Here we go. A little situation here. Columbia War Machine, HK MP-5, tracer rounds, an army of bad guys, steel plates. Let's get it on. Columbia War Machine 5, bad guys 0. We tuned them up. So here we are. We got a bunch of MP5s. We got tracer rounds. We got a 2006 piece of shit TV. We're gonna see what happens when they meet each other. 1, 2. 3. 2, 3. 3. 2, 3. 3. MP-5s versus 2 liters with tracers. 3. 3. MP-5s with tracers versus spray paint cans. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this well-fed pervert thinks he's got the last laugh. He thinks he's got the last laugh. We'll see about that. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Make sure you check out that video. The loser of this game gets a tramp stamp. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Again, the link is in my description and it's in my comments, so you can get it either way. You will not be disappointed. And make sure you hit like, because I'll tell you what, I got a lot more coming. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because I'm just getting warmed up here. Yeah.